Any lag? Is there any? Seriously, is there any lag though? So this doesn't make any sense to me, but what's new, you know? I literally had, so I was recording, I was messing with, I shouldn't have messed with the shit, you know what I mean? I'm always messing with the settings. I was messing with the settings because the recording, like in the clips, like we've had a little issue with the recording and stuff like that. So I literally downsized the stream from 4K. And it made the it made the recording a lot easier, but then as weird as it sounds, it messed the stream up. So now I came back in and I put it back to 4K streaming, and I don't know. I'm at somewhat of a loss with that shit. Doesn't make no sense to me. But okay, you know, all right. You know what's ironic though? Actually, something just popped into my brain. Okay, are there any tech wizards in here, guys? I hate to do this. I hate to make this the fucking IT department call, but are there any tech wizards in here? By the way, I have a surprise for you. I have a little surprise. Okay, so I'm going to show you, and then let me know if there's any tech wizards in here. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. I got a surprise. We got a new look. Boom. Oh, for a second there, I thought it was laggy. It is a little laggy. What the fuck? Is it? Are we skipping frames? My God, why does this happen? Are we good here? Let me know. Because we could probably stream like this, but it does look like it's a little still messed up on my end, huh? No? Are we good? There's no lag? I mean, that's good, but I feel like maybe some frame skipping. Look, I'm probably getting a new PC, guys. I'm going to pull the trigger on the big PC. I just didn't have the time to sit down, and because I don't want to just like order it, right? I want to like go through some stuff, make sure I got it, build my own energy kind of stuff going on. But yeah. 38th birthday, Darth Hulk. Happy birthday to you, brother. Sipping tequila sunrise. Wow. That's a good vibe, brother. Chilling with all the nerd vendors. Thank you. It wouldn't be a Den of Nerd stream without some tech issues, baby. Yeah, we've been having those. We do be having those. I'm not exactly pumped about it. That's why I want to get the what's it called? The new PC, so that I can eliminate some of these problems. Because even now I can see it's not quite there. Like I can see some issues, but anyway, it's all good. We'll do a short stream today. I've got look, we got to talk about this Doctor Doom shit. Basically, that's what I was so excited to get in here and talk to y'all about this Doctor Doom shit. Like this is pretty wild, and also I hate to do that thing where I immediately cook up a theory that's probably way cooler than what they're going to do. But I already did that shit, so I got to talk about that as well later on. This is crazy, man. So I put out a video this morning. We kind of talked about this earlier in the week. I think we talked about this on Wednesday. And at the time I was like, I don't know, you know, and all that. And the more and more stuff was uncovered, it really does seem like that is what it is. And then yesterday, the Marvel Entertainment account itself on Twitter shared a post that, like, I don't know, man. Like I feel like they're just basically soft confirming it, which is pretty interesting. And you look at like what the Russo brothers been doing with the Agbo post and like the Doctor Doom Iron Man thing. It's pretty crazy. Man, I gotta like not look at the screen. Otherwise I'm gonna want to tweak. I'm gonna want to tweak this. I'm gonna turn it into the tweaking of the stream show if I keep looking at that. So I'm not gonna look at that. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about that today, guys. That's kind of the deal. And I've got a lot of cool theories and a lot of cooking to do with this exact thing. I guess the main thing that's really cool that happened yesterday was Collider confirmed that the Doomsday trailer thing is real. Okay, now This had been out there. Chris Gore had talked about this. Christian Harloff had talked about this. We had talked about this here, of course. And I had said, this is a big fucking deal, dude. Like, this is different. We're a year away. You know, they're apparently the trailer, like, it's, I don't know. It seems like it's probably still a teaser trailer, but I think you're getting like some really crazy shit in that trailer, including like a lot of RDJ, a lot of the magic, his setup. And then apparently, according to Christian, they're testing a version with Feige and Steve, which is like, wow, like they're really just going to like pop the fuck off. By the way, also rumors that the Chairs 2.0 thing is real. A lot of people have been talking about that. I maybe thought it was going to be today. I tweeted about it. Shine said it's not today, so it's not today probably. But they're probably going to do a Chairs 2.0 thing relatively soon as well. My prediction on that is it'll probably be on the 18th of November. And the only reason I think that is because they'll probably do like a month from now, see the trailer. You know what I mean? And like, that's kind of dope. I don't really have much to say about the chair thing. I think it's such a silly, stupid thing. But at the same time, I will concede the point that like, if it's Toby, if we get Hugh Jackman, like or I guess did we already have Hugh Jackman? I actually don't even remember who's on the first list of chairs, right? But I know there's names that were not on those chairs that we want to see in this movie. So Chairs 2.0 could actually be kind of cool and really help to set expectations for what the movie actually will be. But I think it's mostly like hey, here's Chairs 2.0. A month from now, the trailer comes out. So look, Collider confirms this. A whole bunch of people start talking about it yesterday. It's crazy. And I kind of have to go back to something I talked about on Monday, which was I didn't know, like I was sort of curious as to like, how would people view this? Like, how are people viewing this thing? Do people understand what's about to happen? You know what I mean? Because this is going to be an incredibly impactful trailer, like maybe one of the most impactful trailers that we've had in a long, long time. I don't know that it's the most important trailer. Some people ask me that. I mean, I don't know. It's very important. I just don't know that I'm willing to say that it's the most important ever. Probably, I mean, it's very important to Marvel. Let's just leave it at that, right? It's very important to Marvel. So this is happening, man. In less than 2 months, less than 2 months' time, we're going to see our first look at Doomsday. And again, according to all the stuff we've already been talking about, this is not some like the Odyssey trailer. And I, you know, I'm a fan of Nolan, and the Odyssey trailer's cool, but the Odyssey trailer's like true teaser. You know what I mean? You see like Tom Holland being emotional. They talk about Odysseus. You know, it's very much a teaser. It's like a tease. And we're hearing that that's not what they're going to do with Doomsday. That they're going to be like, boom, here it is. So I think that is an absolutely incredible thing. It's going to set up the next year of discussion around this thing to be a certain way. I'm kind of holding off on some content. Like I'm cooking up some content for sure, but I'm holding off on some content, frankly, because I think everything changes after December 18th. And I can kind of see how, but I want to just go through it and then we'll recalibrate because this is crazy. And, you know, I remember Chris Gore kind of said it was desperate. Like, I think that was his take, right? It felt desperate. And I think, you know, whether you want to categorize it as desperate or not, the truth of the matter is this is atypical. Like, this is unusual. It is weird to do this, to have your first teaser trailer for a movie a year out is, first of all, pretty wild. But then to make that trailer more than a teaser trailer is also really crazy. Like, that is wild. So this is a big freaking deal. And it's really going to, I mean, for us guys, this is like a really, really big deal. I mean, for me personally too, I'll just say that, you know, I mean, I like what I do. I like content and everything, but there's a lot of Marvel stuff I'm not really into. There's a lot of Star Wars stuff I'm not really into. I think you guys know where I'm at with a lot of this stuff. I've tried to be chill. I've sort of gone a darker way with it because I'm just really tired of a lot of the crap that's happening. At the same time, I'm a Marvel head, bro. Look the fuck around the room. I am a Marvel head. I love this shit, right? So I'm real excited for this and Doom himself. And just I guess what I'm saying is this. It's not a perfect situation for Doom. It's not a perfect situation for Time Runs Out. It's not a perfect situation for an Avengers movie. It's not a perfect situation for Secret Wars. I can acknowledge that, and I think that's fair. But at the same time, considering a lot of what I have had to do as a fan over the past couple of years and like what I've been excited for and what I haven't been excited for, this feels so much better than a lot of the other stuff that we've had. You know what I mean? Like, I can really get into this. I can really sink my teeth into this. I can really theorize. I mean, this seems insane. I think either Simu or Channing, I forget who it was, because these guys are both just like chatterboxes about how cool this movie is. Somebody said the other day that this might be the biggest movie of the next decade. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, dude, or maybe he said like of the current decade, which we're what? 2025, we're like halfway through. So maybe he's saying this will be the biggest movie, and in the next 5 years, nothing else will really compare to it, right? With everything that's coming together, with how the leaks are looking, it is seeming to be a balls to the wall ambitious project, like an absolute, like they're going for it. They are absolutely going for it. And so I'm really, really excited as a fan. So I'll kind of leave it there with the trailer specifically. I would love to know what you guys think about the trailer. What are your thoughts? Is it cool? Is it cool that this is happening? Are you excited about it? What are your thoughts, man? It certainly is. It certainly is a different kind of thing they're doing. Huh? Connor says, I'm going to buy a ticket for Avatar and leave after the trailer. You know what? I have heard people say that too on Twitter. I will not do that because I'm actually excited for Avatar. Like, dude, I love those movies, you know? Especially after I became a dad. Dude, I was like, we were having Liam right around the time that Jake Sully was having kids, like in the fictional universe. So, like, I feel like in some ways I'm growing up with Jake Sully. Probably sounds a little lame, but like, it's cool for me. So I love the Avatar movies. I'm going to check that shit out, but I'm not going to lie. There's a version of this trailer that would make me walk out and go home. Dude, like, I'm just going to be honest. Like, I could see a version of the trailer in my mind, and it's a fanboy dream. You know, it's a fucking fanboy dream, but I could see a version. I'm thinking of a version of the trailer, right? And if it is like as absolutely lit as I think it's going to be, I might be like, just like walk right out, dude, and just like get in the car and go home, flip on the stream. You know what I mean? I'll just literally come right and talk to y'all. Like, I'll just be like, guys, holy shit, you know, and like have to go home. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, pretty interesting. Are any of you feeling that same way? Because I've seen other people say that as well. Also, too, what's the lag situation here? I hate to ask because I'm not looking at the thing because I'll get all ADD hyper fixated on it. But does the stream look okay? I heard. Okay. Yeah, spend 30 to watch a trailer is so stupid. It is fairly unintelligent. Yeah. Not seeing any lag. Okay, how's the frame rate? Is the frame rate good? Are we like smooth? Are we smooth, baby? Noise. Okay, cool. Noise. That's good. Is it only going to play in theaters? That's a great question. I don't think so, but maybe they would do a thing where it's like theater exclusive for a while. By the way, the Avatar trailer is apparently or the Avatar movie rather, is apparently stacked with trailers. So the word is like you might even get a Spider-Man trailer. I've even heard you might get a Supergirl trailer. Can you imagine? And I do think Avatar is probably going to be like one of the biggest movies of the holiday season. So probably appropriate to put a bunch of trailers on there. But I mean, this almost feels like a San Diego Comic-Con. You know what I mean? If we're getting a brand new day and we're getting a Doomsday trailer, what? That's pretty wild. I mean, and again, Marvel going for it, man. They're taking some chances. They're moving on. Who gives a fuck about Supergirl? I care about Supergirl. I think Supergirl's going to be cool, man. I mean, I think it's probably also going to flop, but I am excited for it. Marvel going to Marvel? Fair. Ooh, the Kill Bill thing? Dude, Tom. Okay, so did you guys know about this Kill Bill thing? This is crazy, dude. I've heard some rumblings about this, but I didn't know it was getting like a wide release like this. This is wild. So check this out. The first trailer for Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair has been released. It will include a never-before-seen 7-minute animated sequence. Select presentations will be in 70mm and 35mm. In theaters on my motherfucking birthday, December 5th. I might have to go to New York City and watch this on the 70 mm IMAX. Like, I'm just saying, like, I might actually have to go to New York City to watch this. Seeing Kill Bill in theaters, I was pretty fucking young, dude. I was like 14, 15, maybe 16. Seeing Kill Bill in theaters changed me. Like, a lot of, like, why I'm so crazy is Quentin Tarantino's fault. You know what I mean? So, whew, that shit's pretty hype. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. 5 hours in a theater seat. He'll probably have an intermission. Hopefully, probably. I live in Brooklyn, and I got to somehow get tickets to that 70mm IMAX in Lincoln Square. That's where I want to go. Get me a ticket, too. That's why you like feet so much, too? I actually don't like feet. Like, I don't hate, because I'm not like one of those people. I don't know. I don't necessarily find feet, like, repulsive. I do think it's a bit weird, but, you know, whatever. Different strokes, different folks. It'll be 4 hours and 10 minutes? Okay. I mean, that's still pretty crazy. That's still pretty crazy. As I was going to join the stream 3 years ago, randomly popped up on my feed. Adam Driver's as Reed Richards or Dr. Doom. I'm definitely going to watch it later. Yeah, Adam would have been great. I still kind of hope Adam goes into the MCU. I don't know. I wonder too. Like, I think a lot of people are wondering about the Hunt for Ben Solo movie. If that movie gets made, I think it would be great for Star Wars, but it'd also be great for Adam Driver. You know what I mean? I think that would be huge. And then, yeah, get him into the MCU. I would have really liked him as Doom, frankly. And, you know, I could see him as Reed. He was a harder sell for me on Reed. But there's a ton of characters that, like, I could see Adam. I don't know. Adam's tricky. He's, like, very physically specific is the way I would say it. You know what I mean? He's physically imposing, you know what I mean? But there's just like certain roles that I don't think it would work. You know what I mean? But Banner, that's interesting. But isn't he like tall? He's like really tall, isn't he? Isn't Adam Driver like really tall? Javier Bardem as Doom, really bad. I like Javier Bardem. I don't know that I see him as Doom though. But, yeah, I mean, he's definitely an imposing actor. He's great. He's absolutely great. Whoa, Ibsy with a $20 holla. Thank you, man. That's generous. Says, awesome is an understatement for Predator Badland. You know, I almost went out and saw it last night late. It's easily in the combo for best Predator film yet. I would say my fave movie of the year, Dethroning Thunderbolts. It's fucking badass. Well done, Dan Trickenberg. I really want to see that movie. You know what's so funny, dude? I actually didn't realize the film came out this week. I guess I should have. But I didn't actually realize that it was out this week. And we just planned, like I planned sort of a work weekend. Like Elisa and the kids are going to grandma's. And Papa Josh is just working all weekend because I got to catch up on some work. But if I would have planned it a little bit better, I could have maybe planned to get a sitter. And then we could go out and see Predator because I'm excited for that movie. You know, I know that the Predator movie has become like a culture war thing. I know there's a lot of people that are like hating on it and whatnot. But to me, and I wonder if like maybe this is a take that people just like fucking hate. They just hate this take, but I'll just say it because it's how I feel. You know, if you're gonna do like the girl power stuff, right? Like, and if you're gonna do that, like, that doesn't like instantly kill it for me. And in fact, if you said to me, like, if because it almost feels like the director is kind of saying this. I don't know that he's actually said this. This is just like my perception of the marketing of the movie. My perception of the marketing is like, hey, yo, it's girl power. It's, you know, it's like you're doing some weird shit, but it's also going to be a fucking visual feast. And we're going to give you the craziest action you've seen in a long time. And if you love Predator, I think you're going to dig it. And to me, like, I almost wish the marketing was literally that, right? When they said, they'd just be like, Oh yeah, no, I mean, like, why couldn't the director, and maybe again, this is a fucking wild take, but like, why couldn't the director come out and say, like, yeah, you know, we've sort of caught the ire of, you know, some conservative fans and anti-woke fans that think the movie's girl power. And to be honest with you, like, yeah, we have a strong female character, we love it, but I think even those people love badass action, and trust me, we cooked with this one. Like, again, maybe I'm insane. Maybe I'm a fucking insane person. But I don't understand why you can't just say that. You know what I mean? And I feel like that would, but then again, maybe everybody's like, oh, well, what do you mean by that? And gets all weird about it. So maybe it's smart to just let it speak for itself, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of my take on Predator. I want to see it. Well, I don't know that it has girl power. Somebody's in chat's like, what about girl power? I don't know. That's just what I've heard, right? But that's cool. Would that be too crazy? Like, seriously, would that be too crazy? Do you think people would do that? Like, I would totally do that. So a film that has female power in it, character in it is girl power? Well, I don't know that. I haven't seen the movie, but it's possible, yeah. It's possible what they did was some girl power shit. Like, why is that controversial? You're the weirdo that makes it you are the weirdo that makes it so we can't have that conversation. You're the exact one. I didn't actually think that you would show your face. This is crazy. Like, you're the person. That's the energy that prevents us from being able to just be honest about this shit. Weird, dude. Like, weirdo shit, to be honest. But I guess if you were making the actual commercial art, you know, you'd have to take the weirdos into consideration. So I get it. Okay. Can we talk about the leak? Can we talk about the Sue Storm leak thing? This is wild, guys. We're about to enter some shit, okay? So let me pull this up for you. Oh man, this shit though. Okay. So let's discuss this also within the context of a lot of the rumors and the leaks that we've been talking about. I mean, chat, I think more than ever, we actually know what's going on with Doomsday. We actually know what the motivation for Dr. Doom is. We actually know what the Russos have been cooking for Dr. Doom. And it's wild. It's actually like, it's very different than I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? So I guess first thing to admit, I was wrong. I actually don't think I'm 100% wrong, but I was wrong in the sense that I thought this would be the motivation. That, like, the way I would have done this is Doom becomes aware of the old universe. He becomes aware of his true self. And then, like, he sees that Tony was made, or he sees that a variant of himself on the Sacred timeline was made to be a hero, and that's gross, and he's like Doom, and he's like really fucking mad, right? So look, it appears I was wrong about that. It appears that is not what's going to motivate Dr. Doom. So first question, chat, how do you guys feel about that? I know a lot of you are like, thank God. You know what I mean? What do you think? What do you think? First thing, let me know on that, okay? Now, the second thing, I guess, to just get into this is those old leaks were right. Okay, those old leaks were right. And the thing that's ironic about that, like, dude, I don't know, man. I'll just tell you all what's on my mind. You know what I mean? That's what this channel is. That's what the streams is. I just sit up here and yap and tell you what's on my mind. So let me tell you what's on my fucking mind. When these leaks came out about Steve Rogers, and when these leaks came out about Dr. Doom and his family and the universe being destroyed, I was like, bro, what? And I really didn't like it. And in fact, I rejected it. You know, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I can be kind of stubborn sometimes. You know what I mean? I can be kind of hard-headed. So all that information came out, and I was like, this sucks. Now, in the middle of that, I had a conversation with Rob from Comics Explained. A lot of you were here for it. I put it out as a clip. I think it did over 100K on the Clips channel. Very popular video. Rob and myself just discussing the leaks for 40 minutes. Okay? Now, that video is great because Rob and I are great. But I remember after I did that clip, I actually started to feel bad about it because, dude, that painted that shit in a pretty negative light. Like, Rob and I were both kind of like, this is ass. Like, we were, you know, we kind of shit all over it, to be honest. And I actually felt bad because, especially as I watched the views tick up on that thing, I was like, oh boy, you know what I mean? I was like, oh no. But what I'm telling you is, the reason I'm telling you that is because today, right, and a little bit yesterday, as I was like processing all of this, I was like, oh my God, Rob and I were actually in the right. Like, we were in the right to discuss that. Now, we didn't have the full context, and I actually feel a lot better about it, and I'll explain why. I feel a lot better about this than I once did, and I will explain why. Okay, there's actually like a lot of elements here that I think are decent. But yeah, so like that popped into my mind, that whole like journey. And I think too, you know, I've said this on other streams this week. I said this in the video. You know, I strongly feel that Shine and some of these other insiders, I feel as though they had access to the trailer or they had access to the plans for the trailer. And I think that's where all of the leaks came from. You know what I mean? And yesterday, I think maybe the day before, maybe because I think our video took 2 days, so maybe it was Wednesday. John Campea on his show, and a lot of you guys told me this. John Campea on his show talked about the Sue Storm thing as a theory, which, like, guys, were you guys in that thing? Did he really do that? Because, like, sometimes you guys will say stuff in chat, and I'm not even sure if it's real. You know what I mean? Like, chat tries to get you. You know what I mean? You shouldn't let chat get you. Shouldn't let chat get you. It's not wise to let chat get you. But also, sometimes you guys are right, too. So, yeah, that's... Did he really say that on his show? Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so again, I'm not trying to call John out or be rude or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, the timing of that is crazy. He says on his show, and then this leak comes out from the marketing department. And by the way, too, okay, I got all kinds of love for all of these people. I was watching the Hot Mic podcast last night, and Johnny Boy, the outlaw himself, kind of dancing around this issue. In fact, John publicly admitted that he knows what's going on with Dr. Doom, but he was told not to say anything. And this, I think, was recent. The way he explained it was like, because somebody asked him about this, chat, okay? Somebody asked him about this. And John, you're either an incredible actor or you didn't realize what this is. I'm going to go with incredible actor, actually. Okay, I'm going to go with incredible actor. And so somebody asks Roka about this, and he's like playing it all coy and shit. You know what I mean? He's like, he was dancing around it. He was dancing around it, basically. And so that takes us to this post, man. Let me explain it. This is so crazy. Do you guys, I mean, you guys know what this is, right? Like, everybody knows what this is, right? But let me just take you through it here. Okay, so this is a post on Marvel Entertainment. It says 2 overprotecting geniuses. Okay? And it's got on the one image here Reed Richards and Sue Storm. And she says, you baby-proofed the world. Okay? And over here, you have Tony Stark. It says, I see a suit of armor around the world. Now, the thing that's wild about this is look at the comments here, guys. It has begun. What? Wait, is this right? Cryptic with the shady. Don't play. I mean, it's this. I mean, dude. Check the quote tweets. Check his million views, 10,000 likes. The timing of this is insane, dude. Like, is the social media, like, because you could say this is literally like just a social media manager, like, having fun. And I wonder if that's what it is. But also, I got to be careful about what I say here. I think it's possible a lot of what we think is inorganic social media stuff is a little bit more engineered than people realize. And I think yeah, so I think it's possible that this is a little bit more coordinated than maybe you would expect, okay? And what am I talking about here? I'm talking about the fact that the motivation for Doctor Doom in Doomsday appears to be that he lived in a universe where he married Sue Storm, and together they had a child that was named Franklin Richards, or maybe Franklin Von Doom. You know what I mean? That's actually kind of interesting. I wonder if they named him Franklin Von Doom. But either way, the rumor is, the theory that John Campea had, you know what I mean? The rumor is, chat, that the RDJ Doctor Doom, the main character of Doomsday, the main character of Secret Wars, that variant of Doctor Doom, comes from a universe where he married Sue Storm and had a child, Franklin Richards. Okay, now here's the thing. His child, his universe gets destroyed. And if you think about the stuff that Chris Gore was saying about Phantom of the Opera, I mean, think about Phantom of the Opera. And think about Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm, and think about Doom lingering around Phantom of the Opera style. Okay, so like some of this stuff is actually making a lot more sense. Think of the post-credit scene for the Fantastic Four film. I mean, Doom has his mask off and he's touching the kid, dude. What's up with that? I don't know that there's any other explanation. That's a father and a son. Well, what it really is a father and a variant of a son. Okay? Now, the other thing that's really wild about this is we've had a lot of rumors that Wanda Maximoff and Dr. Doom, RDJ's Dr. Doom, are going to have some kind of a romantic relationship. Now, the thing that I was told that's really weird, and I literally could not understand this up until now. I could not understand this. My source told me he's going to have Wanda as a girlfriend in Doomsday, and then he's going to be married to Sue Storm in Secret Wars, okay? Now, I was like, I remember hearing that and just being like, you got to be putting me on. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be pulling my leg. Are you joshing me? Right? Well, all of a sudden, that makes a lot more sense because Wanda herself was looking for variants of her children in the multiverse. Do you see where this is going? So my prediction on that is that Doom loses his universe, loses his family, and he has to build the suit. Because remember, we learned that the suit is keeping Doom alive. His body is broken. He was destroyed, probably from the incursion that destroyed his entire universe. Doom is shattered, broken, and he builds a suit, probably like the same way Tony Stark did build a suit in the fucking caves, except this will be Doom in like a shattered universe. It's going to be super badass. And he's going to make a suit, hold himself together or whatever, right? But then he's going out to the universe. I feel like he's going to stumble upon the prophecy of the Scarlet Witch. I feel as though Doom, just knowing Doom, would know about the Darkhold and is probably going to understand what's going on with Wanda. So then they meet up and it's like, oh, you lost your children and you're looking for variants in the multiverse? Yeah, the multiverse is cruel to you as well. And then they form a bond over that. I mean, guys, that is the connection to make that romantic thing make perfect sense. And then you would say, okay, but then why Sue in Secret Wars? Isn't it obvious? When he becomes God, he's going to create the perfect reality for him. And in the perfect reality, he gets his wife back. So he's divorced dad in Doomsday with the new side chick, and they're having a fling, and, you know, she's had a complicated couple of years, and they're making it work together, and God bless them. But when he gets the juice and he can actually reset it, he is absolutely going to reset it, and he's absolutely going to be with his wife and his child in Secret Wars. That's what I predict. And guys, that's literally just one thing that has like made more sense with this leak, okay? So just to go back to the post, right? This really does seem to be what's going on. And I think the reason Marvel Entertainment is willing to literally tease it, sort of be cheeky, like, you know, we know the leaks out there kind of a thing, you know, we're having fun with this, is because they're going to drop this shit in the first trailer. Did you guys see what I'm saying here? Like, they're going to drop this shit in the first trailer, dude. They're going to tell us right on Front Street what's going on with Doom, what's going on with Franklin, what's going on with Sue, okay? So that's just the first part of this. I'll look at chat for a little bit here because I want to know what you guys think about this, because I have a lot more to say, but also this is pretty wild. This is very different than what a lot of us thought. So what do you make of this, chat? Like, what do you think of this? And also, too, like, specifically, I'm wondering, do you think the Marvel Entertainment post is intentional? That explains the medieval concept art, Dr. Doom, Sue, Franklin standing next. Yep. Will his name even be Franklin? I mean, that's a fair question. I don't know. Yeah. Yep. Vinny, I like where your head's at with that, brother. I don't like this. And yeah, this post is intentional. Ooh, oh man. Okay. Well, maybe I could sell you on it a little bit because I'm not completely sold on it myself, but there's aspects of it that I actually really like. I really like the idea of the motivation being the rage of a father, husband losing his family, finding responsibility with Steve. I mean, guys, that is pretty simple for people to understand. By the way, I'll tease this. I have a theory that it's actually something else, and it's the most dark and twisted and fucked up thing Marvel has ever done. And again, I hate to do that thing where I immediately come in and I'm like, oh, here's a theory that's way cooler than anything Marvel's going to do with all the information that I have, but I did it and I'm going to do it again. I have an idea of where this could be going, and if they do what I think they could do, this will be the most fucked up, dark, twisted, horrible thing they've ever done, and I will love it. But we'll explain that in a couple of minutes. For now, let's just kind of focus on this. Like, this is pretty shocking, right? Then that also gives Wanda motivation to take down Doom and destroy Battleworld. Scarlet Witch will destroy the universe. Yeah, fair. Absolutely fair. They won't. I mean, yeah, they probably won't. They probably won't, yeah. RPK said Steve Rogers is playing Nomad. Yeah. I mean, we've known about that. I don't think that does too much to the combo, to be honest. So Tony's still adopted. Great question. I think so. I think that is still what happened to Tony Stark. What this would do, though, if this is what it is it kind of takes the motivation from Doom, makes it a little bit more believable, a little bit more normie. Like, dude, you know what this is? This is like Thanos' Mistress Death becomes Thanos balancing the universe. There's some stuff in comics that's like maybe just too inaccessible. Thanos being a simp for Mistress Death is like pretty weird. You know, and it's like you put that on the screen and you probably got a lot of normies that are like, what the fuck? That's a little corny or whatever, right? So that's what this feels like. Is like they're like, okay, well, we obviously need this to just be really easy to understand, especially for the marketing. And I feel like that's what this is. You know what I mean? So I've seen people theorize that Howard Stark is RDJ Doom's father rather than Warner Von Doom. Yeah, I mean, sure, it could be. It could be that. I don't think so, though. Why did Doom go to the F4 universe if he isn't from there? It is the same reason that Wanda went to 838 to get her kids for her child. Wasn't Captain already named Nomad in Infinity War? Yeah, I mean, it's unofficial, but yes, he was Nomad. Because remember, he's not Captain America at that point. He walks away from the Avengers. After the Avengers disassemble, after the Sokovia Accords, Steve is no longer Cap. He goes underground. Those were the underground Avengers, and he was Nomad when he led them, yeah. If Tony had a dream, they had a daughter named Morgan. Does that mean there is another RDJ Doom variant out there in the universe? That's a great question, David. I really like that. I might do a whole video on that idea. Like, just kind of like pontificate on that because that's really cool. I'm not sure, though. I can't answer off the top of my head. I don't know. So they are reduxing a story already told. Sounds lame, kind of. I mean, look, you can feel that way. I'm not completely sold on it either. It's really weird. But here, let me give you the cope. Okay, let me give you the cope. I know we're all processing, but let me give you my copium here. And I talked about this in the video a little bit, but I'll go over it here with you guys as well. So the one thing I like about this is like it does play heavily off of the Doctor Doom Reed Richards dynamic from the comics. Specifically, it plays off of the Jonathan Hickman 2015 Secret Wars, where Doom does take Reed's family. It was like a really weird thing, man. It was a weird thing. Doom, when he pops up on Battleworld, Sue's there, Franklin's there, Valeria's there, and they all just believe, like Doom literally altered their minds to get them to believe that Doom was their dad / husband, right? And that was like weird. It definitely pissed Reed off, and it certainly had a lot to do with how the whole story concluded, which I thought was really interesting. But the subtext of that, I always viewed as Doom views Reed as the version of himself that got everything handed to him. And so Doom taking Reed's family as the god emperor of Battleworld, to me always meant that Doom did always want Reed's life. He wanted Reed's life. Deep down, somewhere inside, he wanted Reed's life, which is an empathetic quality. Like, that's a humanizing quality. It's like interesting that was in that story. So this right here is like a version of that, where like you could have a variant of Doctor Doom. And dude, this guy, like, he didn't do anything. He just was living out his normal life on this timeline, living his best life. Might have even been like kind of a chill Doctor Doom, right? And married to Sue Storm. And they have the child, Franklin. And then Steve Rogers shows up and he's like, sorry, your reality shouldn't exist. I got to make sure my friend Tony Stark keeps his daughter Morgan. And then like just boom, everything's just fucking decimated. I don't think that's like the actual way that's going to go down, but like something like that, right? And so the shit just like everything is destroyed in front of him. And then we'll see Victor. Like, how many of y'all read the what's the deal? The Doctor Doom comic from last year, the Jonathan Hickman one, the one shot? How many of you guys read that? Because in that comic, there's a section where like you find Doctor Doom. I put it into the video today. There's a section where like you find Doctor Doom and he's like in space and he's all messed up. And it's because he was fighting that Galactus and he got fucked up, right? But he's still alive. Like, he's kept himself alive, I think, for days in space. And then he's rescued by Valeria. Okay. They build him a new suit. They give him 3 cosmic cubes. They give him a blood transfusion with celestial blood. And then he goes to fight that Galactus again as the last hope of that universe, right? So it's like this super badass thing. But so with Doom being destroyed, like his body being destroyed, Doctor Doom, his actual physical body being torn apart, I expect we would see something similar to that comic where like this broken individual, you know, maybe the world will look a little bit like Sinister Strange in Multiverse of Madness. Do you remember how like it looked like an incursion happened there? And in fact, I believe, yeah, because Steven says, I can see why you guys are so worried about incursions when they go there. And then the Sinister Strange says, I lost to him, and we never find out who. It's probably Doctor Doom. But anyway, so maybe Doctor Doom's world will end up kind of looking like that with like everything fucking destroyed, right? And then this guy's gonna have to like crawl around, get this suit and use his magic and like rebuild himself, keep himself alive, maybe by pure will alone. And that to me is kind of dope. Okay, that to me is kind of cool. And if that's something they can actually appropriately set up, it's not like my version of Doctor Doom. You know what I mean? It's not like my favorite way that this could go. But I can see a way that that's very satisfying for Doctor Doom fans. It's just kind of like, look, this is just the MCU version of it. And at the same time, given everything that was going on and everything they had to juggle, this might be the best that they could come up with. So that's a little bit of cope. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about that? I like that comic story showed how even at his most broken, Doom prevails. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I don't even know that he did prevail because it's like weird that comic ends in a very ambiguous way. We don't even know if like Doom makes it out. In fact, I think it's implied that he dies. But yeah, like that's the thing for sure. Remember when Doom proposed to Sue? Oh, dude, that's true. Oh, my. Oh, my. That's a good point. Could Doom use willpower and his magic to prevent that? To prevent what? The universe being destroyed? Is that what you're talking about? Walter Aaron, welcome to the Nerd Vengers, baby. You are a Nerd Venger now. Sorry, I had a burp. Vincent, appreciate the upgrade, brother. Thank you. Can you start over? What? Start over to what? What are you talking about, brother? What are you talking about? The Wanda subplot haters didn't pay attention to WandaVision ended. They shouldn't be pissed at the writers of the show, not Walter. Oh, yeah. I agree with that. That's unbelievable about all this. Wanda subplot, multiverse. Wait, what? Oh, you guys are arguing about that. Okay. Which three worlds collide? I'm not sure. Doom's intentions are always selfish in every comic story, even in the new one, One World Under Doom. That seems to be the case. Yes, that is true. I think that's fair. That is true, and I think it is fair. How much do you think we'll actually see RDJ face in Doomsday? I hope he wears the mask more, to be honest. So I think, I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about this, but I would imagine you're going to get a lot of the face. By the way, remember those makeup leaks that we had where he's just like split down the middle on his face? There's some evidence that those were real, guys. I mean, I kind of teased this too, where I was like, I think that Toby shit was real. That shit might be it. Now, I'm hoping it looks a little bit better than that. Maybe that's just like the first part of the makeup, and maybe it'll look better with some visual effects. But, look, here's what I think is going on, okay? I think Doom and the Fantastic Four, like, Doom's going to tell them about his reality and the incursions, and they're all going to be kind of working together. And the connection will be that Doom loves the kid and actually wants to help and actually is trying to bring his universe back to get his kid back and his wife. And so I think that's like that'll be like the Doom thing. And then Doom and Reed and everybody like work together. They're trying to solve all the problems. They come into 616. Okay. And I do believe at that point, Doom will take his mask off because I was told directly from sources, he will pretend to be Tony Stark. Okay. So just hear me out on that. I was told he will pretend to be Tony Stark. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? That probably means he's going to show up on 616 with the Fantastic Four. And he's going to say, you know me. And he's going to take his mask off. And he's going to be like, your Iron Man was a variant of me. You probably didn't know he was a Victor Von Doom. But something like that. Like, Doom will use the fact that they're variants of each other to gain the trust of the Avengers, to then go beat up the X-Men, to then get all to get to Steve, basically, and do all of that sort of stuff, right? So that's what I think is possibly going on. Like, dude, I'm telling you, a lot of the stuff I heard now makes even more sense. Like, there were a lot of things where I was like, I can't place this. I don't understand this. How would this work? You know what I mean? Especially, like, frankly, this part where he's gonna get the Fantastic Four to work for him. He's gonna manipulate the Avengers of 616 by saying he's Tony. And then he's actually manipulating everybody, which again, we're gonna come to in a second because I have a very crazy theory about what all of that could mean. But yeah, let me know. Any leaks about Rune King 4 that I've missed? Nothing that I've seen, brother. I think there were some rumblings about it, especially connected to, like, Alex Perez was teasing that they have a plan for Loki and Thor to reunite. And then the Majestic guy recently said that, like, Cap and Thor are going to go recruit a bunch of variants of, like, themselves, which is wild. But does that mean he becomes Rune King Thor? I'm not really sure. But that's all I know about it. Doom using Asgardian magic like Loki? Well, it's possible. I mean, if you look at the so let me do a thing here, okay? Let me pull something up here. Because if you look at the suit, which, dude, by the way, guys, there's so much happening right now, it's like hard for me to keep track of it all. But there was a person that confirmed yesterday that this is the Doctor Doom suit. Now, we kind of knew that, but 100% this is it. Somebody literally saw set photos of Downey in this thing. Okay? And also, Steve wielding Mjolnir, definitely in the movie as well. But I feel like we already knew that. Now, what's important about this thing with Doom here is that this is the suit that is protecting him. This is keeping him alive. And it's possible it's keeping him alive after a universe was destroyed. So look at that. Now take a look at it and like look a little bit more closely. So you have maybe the 10 rings. You have Thor's symbol here. You have Captain Marvel's symbol over here. You have these gauntlets, which maybe, I don't know, they look a little bit like Guardians of the Galaxy tech or some shit to me. And then they have these little like card things on his chest, which I think are runes. So this is likely the suit that Doom created out of his broken universe in order to keep himself alive and make himself as powerful as possible. So, yeah, maybe Asgardian magic. Maybe all of it, dude. Maybe he's using all of it. You know? Pretty cool. So there's no Doom in the F4 world. I'm a little confused on that. I mean, there's Latveria. I had assumed that Doom was from that universe. And I felt pretty comfortable in that, but now, not so much. Like, literally now, not so much. So, I think it's possible there is no Victor in that universe. Which Infinity Stones was Steve bringing back that caused the incursion? Well, so that's a whole nother thing because, and by the way, too, shout out to Colton. He does a lot of stuff over with Ryan Airy and Screen Crush. He's kind of been on this for a while. I remember he did a very big video about how Steve putting the stones back could have created Tony. And I think it would have to be one of the stones with Tony Stark that then caused a bunch of chaos. And then maybe because it's possible that it is a Tony Stark variant that becomes Dr. Doom. I still don't think that's what it is, but I guess that's still technically possible, even within what we're discussing right now, right? So, yeah, pretty interesting, man. Pretty interesting stuff, yeah. What else do you guys think? I feel a new short a brewing. Hey, I've heard that shorts are increasing their monetization, which is kind of interesting. So I might have to start looking at shorts as well. You guys know I like money. Hello. I like money, so we'll look into it. Bro, if Doom already put the pieces of shattered universes into his suit, that explains how he knows how to do Battleworld. Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Tony becoming Dr. Doom wouldn't be a comic accurate Dr. Doom. Very true. I mean, technically, there are versions of that character in the comics, but I know what you mean, yeah. The Doom adoption thing would be a retcon. Yes, it would. Because the Russos denied the adoption theory in special released thing of Endgame, but I could see them doing it nonetheless. I'd hate it, though. Yeah, I think that people would have mixed feelings on it, yeah. I just kind of keep coming back to them wanting to challenge the audience, you know? Them wanting to challenge the audience. I think that's kind of an interesting thing to say. Yeah. If Marvel does a Summers family that is potentially hinting at Cyclops being older and not younger, essentially already established with children or possibly connected to James Marsden. Yeah, for sure. That could be what's going on in Doomsday. I don't think that's what they're doing in the reboot. By the way, I shared, there's a scooper called Ember on Main, I think is her name. And she shared a concept leak, which was the X-Men. And at first I was like, dude, that's gotta be the X-Men for Doomsday, right? And I was like, oh shit, Halle Berry's in this, John. Like, dude, Femke, like, but kind of seems like that might actually be the X-Men reboot. I'll say this, either way, that's a fire-ass lineup. Holy shit, that's a great lineup. And so if that's either way, if that's the X-Men lineup for Doomsday, incredible. If that's the X-Men lineup for the reboot, incredible. You know what I mean? Either way, we're eating good. Hey, appreciate you, Zach. Thanks for the 5, man. Pretty sure Ryan Johnson thought he was challenging the audience too. Fair. I mean, this could absolutely go a bad way. People could hate it. That's absolutely fair. That'd be wild if that was Thor's KP Jax just to add insult. Oh my God, yeah, that would be wild, huh? Damn, if we see Hulk get his ass handed to him by Doom, that's going to be 2-0. Well, actually, it'll be 0 for 2, but yes. What's the lineup? Should I pull it up for you? Should I whip it out? As they say. Where's it at? I put it into the Discord. Can somebody share it on the Discord again, and then I'll... oh, actually, I know where it's at. 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 Don't you worry, chat. I know where it's at. All right. I hope I don't get in trouble for sharing this. I don't even know a good way to do this. So that's the lineup. So you got Storm, classic looking Storm. You got Genie, classic Jean. Cyclops looking big as fuck, love it. Scotty Summers, front and center. Angel, William Warrington, that's his name, I think, right? Angel, very cool. And Nightcrawler, and then Rogue. You know what's crazy about this too? Do you guys remember when Daniel RPK literally tried to tell us that the Marvel X-Men movie was going to be female-centric? There's literally more dudes. Like, there's literally more dudes in this lineup than there are gals. Just saying. You should probably just pay attention to this shit. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Anyway. Chat, what do you think about this? You guys are wild. Some of you guys are wild. What's this from? Somebody leaked it. Could be totally fake. Could be actually what Marvel's doing for their X-Men. I love this lineup, dude. I love this lineup. Also tracks with the thing we heard about Wolverine not really being in it, because he's going to be doing his own thing. No Beast. Well, Beast is probably there, but he'll be like a fixture of the home. He's the man in the chair. You know what I mean? Sometimes Beast will get in the field for sure, but usually Hank and Charles are like back at home base, you know? So, man, look, I love the look of Angel here. Dude, that's a Giga Chad looking at Angel, bro. Like, I hope they get somebody that has that exact physique. You know, not like too jacked, but like sturdy. That's great. Yeah, pretty cool. Is it leaked concept art? It would appear to be leaked concept art, yes. Who's the big guy in the back? That's Colossus. Yeah. That's Colossus. Ooh, Rob Stark. Well, isn't he in the other John? Yeah. Yeah, that's Colossus. Next. What did I say? Did I say it wrong at first? Tom, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Did you see the 4chan leak for the X-Men plot? No, I didn't, but hit me up. Have you seen Jade Cargill, Josh? She needs to be Storm. I think I have. And if she's who I'm thinking of, she's a smoke show. And look, I'm not trying to be rude, but that's who you need for Storm. Storm needs to be a smoke show, dude. Like, Storm needs to be a bomb show. You said Cyclops twice? Oh, sorry, guys. I was rating Arc Raiders last night. I didn't stay up till 3 though. I tried to go to bed around midnight or 1. The X-Men plot leak is on Max Blitz. Okay, well, we'll go over it later. I'm not trying to. I don't want to do that today, guys. I just want to talk about my dark theory, and then get out of here. Okay. And we'll be back at it regular streams next week. We should be able to have dude, we should have a lot of content coming up. You know what I mean? So next week we'll be kind of just back at it regular style, and there's a lot of stuff going on as we prepare for Chairs 2.0, and as we prepare for this trailer. Holy shit. There's a lot of content to be made, a lot of fun stuff to be made. Oh, you know what else? Can I just say one thing too before we get into my theory at the end here? I would just like to say that Demon Slayer, have you guys been paying attention to the Demon Slayer thing? Have you been paying attention to the Demon Slayer thing? So Demon Slayer right now is sitting at like 670 million or something like that. Crushing it. We've talked a lot about it. It's about to open in China. Okay. And the reports are this thing could be bigger than fucking Endgame in China. Like, I don't know if that's real or not, but some people are saying 400 million total projection in China, maybe more. 400 million total. 200 milli opening and then legs, because these movies don't leg out, or they leg out much better in those markets than they do here in the States. Dude, I've been trying to say it. I said it when it first started happening. I was like, this movie's going to change things. This is like, again, not trying to whatever, but Warner Brothers is literally trying to spin a third quarter loss while they're selling their fucking company. And the only thing they got going on is Superman, which didn't even do as well as the anime movie. Okay. So like, again, I'm not trying to be super rude, but like, that's where we're at. And this motherfucking movie is probably going to make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in profit. Let me see if I can pull this up for you, because I was looking at what, let's see here. Okay, well, I tell you what. Let's just look at it. I don't know that I'll 100% agree with the take here, but let's look at what Luis is saying over here. You know, I like this dude's box office coverage. Excitement for the new Demon Slayer film causing havoc at China's box office ahead of its November 14th opening. Previews Thursday, November 13th. Anime Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, aka ends third pre-sale day on Friday with 9.7 3-day coom for the November 13th or 16th period with 6 days to go yet. To put that into perspective, previous anime pre-sales Recordus Suzume, great movie by the way, only hit 10 million in pre-sales 3 days prior to its opening day. While Infinity Castle is getting there this Saturday, almost 2 times faster, poised to become the biggest pre-sales ever for a non-Chinese animation when it is all said and done. A pre-sales breakdown, 985K, 4.5. Okay. Exhibitors flocking in as well as quickly as they can, with 92,000 screens already open for pre-sale. 92,000 screens, a record for a non-Chinese film that early in pre-sales period. 92,000 screens? As I mentioned before, it has all to become the first non-Chinese film ever to reach 30 plus million in pre-sales alone if it keeps its current pacing. Pre-sales for the anime films are extremely front-loaded in China, but even so, an opening weekend way above Suzume's 50 million debut seems locked. Could even dream of beating Avatar Way of Water's 57.1 million in Godzilla vs. Kong 69 million as the 2 biggest opening weekends for non-Chinese films post-COVID. That's crazy, dude. Like what he's saying there is like, you look at the pre-sales for this, and this, a lot of people are reporting on this. This is bananas, dude. You look at the way this thing is pre-sale, it literally looks like a $200 million opening weekend. A $200 million opening weekend. That's bigger. That's like on par with a lot of the Marvel movies this year. That's like Superman's opening. Like what did Superman open? 225? And that was worldwide. So again, this shit's crazy, bro. And also too, remember, Netflix has the live action right. They're already doing a live action Demon Slayer thing. They're going all in on that. They're doing live action Solo Leveling. They're doing live action Bleach. Dude, Netflix is going hard on this exact kind of a thing in a live action version, but it's a similar thing because it's all anime related. So there are some reports out there, man, where somebody said, Japan said they think they can get their entertainment business to be a $130 billion industry by 2030. That's pretty crazy because traditionally, and this is something, it's a little deep cut, but if you're a big fan of Dragon Ball or like anime in general, you're probably, if you're at my age, you've witnessed anime have its moments and never actually like sort of get there. Mostly because they never really cared about the international audience. So like Dragon Ball is a very interesting example. Dragon Ball is evergreen content. It made so much money. It was huge international. Dragon Ball was evergreen. It was crazy. And yet Shueisha, who owns the license for the anime, they're really only interested in the success it does on Japanese soil. Like it's really weird. And Danny will tell you this, Geekdom 101. I've talked to him about it before. It's a cultural thing. They don't care as much. However, Japan is also going through, just like every other country in the world, Japan's also going through like a lot of change. And I think looking to the future. And I think there's a sort of growing movement in Japan. I mean, to be more like what they were in the 80s, dude. The Japanese economy in the 80s was crazy. Like everybody thought Nokia's and this, that, second, like all the Japanese brands were the shit. Everybody thought the Japanese were just going to fucking explode and have the most tech in the whole world. And they kind of fell off for a long, long time. Didn't really innovate. And I think the world was worse off for it, to be honest. So I'm actually glad that Japan rather, is innovating again. They're taking their anime, which is, it's so fucking Japanese. Anime is so Japanese. And I love that for them. And if they could really export that to the tune of $130 billion annual industry by 2030, dude, Japan in some ways is the new Hollywood. What? So crazy times in the world of entertainment. So I wanted to touch on that, and then I'll talk about my theory a little bit. But here, let's talk about this. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of that, dude? Nokia is not a Japanese brand. Oh, okay. Thoughts on Gambit and Rogue and Rivals? Didn't actually see that. Is that true? Twist Off says, how can Tony be adopted? Didn't Tony's dad have a conversation and again where he mentions how his mom was pregnant with Tony? Yes, go back and watch that scene again, Twist Off. When Howard says that his wife is pregnant, Tony gets really confused because the timing doesn't make sense to him. What do you think that's about? New main channel video. Japan is the new Hollywood. That would be a kind of interesting. That would be kind of an interesting video idea. Actually, I think there's actually a lot of. I could probably make a pretty good video on that. Yeah. I think artists in Japan work their butts off, and they deserve a ton of respect for working hard. Yeah, they really do. Yeah. Culturally too, they just respect hard work. I mean, that's actually something I think they share with America, although Americans have kind of gotten lazy, you know what I mean? And Japan is still very much like results oriented, school's really important, you know, all that sort of stuff. So Gambit and Rogue are next up in Rivals. Their pick is an update patch. Oh, yeah? Oh, shit. Okay. Dude, Gambit. Is it real? Because there was a leak for Gambit a long time ago, and I got really excited about it, and then people proved that it was fake. So let's see your Marvel Rivals. I don't know when I'm getting off Arc Raiders though, dude. I'm sorry. Arc Raiders has got me. Arc Raiders has got me in a chokehold. I don't see any Gambit. Wait, what? So where's the trailer? Where's the trailer, dude? Must be an easy game. You couldn't handle Arc Raiders, Justin. You couldn't handle that shit. What you know about that shit? You ever played Tarkov? You ever play Tarkov, dude? You don't even know. play Hell Jumpers? You mean Hell Divers? Hell Divers was great, yeah. I haven't played it in a long time, but it's awesome. Yeah, it was an awesome game. I think I got to like level 50 or something. They're in the concept art in the background for the new buff they put. I mean, I saw that. I just don't know that it's real, right? I mean, dude, trust me. I want Rogue and Gambit in that thing, but I'm just not ready to say that it's real. You know what I mean? So, all right, guys. Anyway, last little bit here. I just want to talk about this really, really dark theory that I have. This shit is like twisted, man. It's fucked up, and it's also really cool. So this is one of those situations where, you know, given what we heard. I'm gonna pause the music on this because we gotta get serious. Some of you guys are like, "What music?" This is a pretty big deal. So I did that thing again, where I get some info and I go to the coolest fucking version of. I cook up a theory. That's what I would do. It's a total fanboy thing to do. It would be so cool, and it's also probably way fucking cooler than anything Marvel Studios would actually do. However, just like all my other theories, I do have reasons to believe that Marvel would actually do this, okay? So let's get into this. Let's talk about this. Well, this is within the context of the new leak that appears to be real, that suggests that RDJ's Doctor Doom was married to Sue Storm, had a child, Franklin, either Franklin Richards or Franklin Von Doom, variant of Franklin. His universe was destroyed, maybe by Steve Rogers, you know what I mean? And then Doom loses his family. He loses Sue Storm. He loses Franklin. He loses his family. He loses his world. And then this broken, devastated man rebuilds himself, keeps himself together, gets all this power, goes into 828 in the post-credit scene. That's why he takes his mask off to see the child, because that's his child. It's a variant of his child, but it's his child. And that's why he shows his face to the kid. All of this makes a lot more sense. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I have heard that Victor is manipulating everybody in this movie. And if he's manipulating everybody in this movie, is he also manipulating Sue Storm and Reed Richards? I would say yes. I think that's probably obvious, okay? But how? And I now want to take you to another leak, a very old leak that somebody told me, which was that aspects of Avengers Forever, not the one from the 90s, but the one from the 2010s that Jason Aaron did with Prime Avenger Loki, the Mephistos and all that shit. I was told that that run is being adapted also for Doomsday and Secret Wars. Okay, now the thing you got to know about that run specifically is that it had the most evil version of Doctor Doom we had ever seen in comics. The most twisted and fucked up individual that we had ever seen in comics. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this. This is a panel. Okay, this is a panel. Let me resize this so we can read this together. This is from that Avengers Forever run. Okay, and I love that run. Okay, this is Doctor Doom actually speaking to, believe it or not, he's speaking to a variant of Doctor Doom that was Man-Thing. Literally, Man-Thing Doctor Doom. Anyway, so he's talking about his love here, his long-lost love. And he says, her name was Valeria, a Romani like me. I loved her with the all-consuming abandon of a child. A love so strong, so very precious to me, even many years later, that when I stripped the living flesh from her bones, I forged with it an armor fueled by the power of my sacrifice. So, what am I getting at here? What do I think could be going on? Well, if you listen to this Doctor Doom, what he's saying is, I love Valeria. I still love Valeria. In fact, my love for Valeria is very important to me because it's the sacrifice that gave me the ultimate power that I now have, okay? And so, what if our DJ's Doctor Doom comes to this universe with the Fantastic Four and he tells a story of how he lost his wife and child to the incursions. And he says, I don't want this to happen to you. In fact, I want my family back. So we're going to work together and we're going to stop these incursions. Then he goes into 616 and he says, your greatest hero was a variant of me. You guys know me. Shit's crazy out here. I lost my child. I lost my wife. We got to go beat up the X-Men so that I can find Steve Rogers and I can save the multiverse and bring my child and my wife back, okay? Except at one point, maybe, what gets revealed, because I've been told the entire time Doom is manipulating everybody. So what if what really happened was Doom's universe was being destroyed? And do you know what he did? He took his own son and sacrificed him, absorbing his power to gain the power needed to potentially bring his son back. Okay, so maybe Doom can justify this by saying that, like, I can get it all back if I just do what is necessary, no matter what is necessary. That would be pretty fucked up. Okay, now the reason I like that is because that would be the most twisted shit ever, and it would really set up, I mean, that is some cold ass Doctor Doom shit. And that would be Doom at his most vile. But also he could explain it by saying that, like, he now has his son in Secret Wars. He has his son again. He got him back. But did he really? Is that really his son? And I absolutely love the juxtaposition of Iron Man and his refusal to sacrifice his child, and then Doom and his ability to sacrifice his child. So again, it's a theory. I could see how it fits into some of the stuff that I've heard about. It would be absolutely dark. It would be, oh man, kind of puts a knot in your stomach even thinking about it. So that's the theory. What do you guys think? That's the theory. What do you think? Therein lies the difference between Tony, Victor, and Reed. Yep. So he destroyed his own timeline. I don't know that he destroyed his own timeline. It's that in the desperation of the timeline being destroyed, he absorbed the power, just like that Stephen Strange variant was going to absorb America's power. Yeah. So, I mean, dude. Yeah, I mean, look, it's probably not real. A lot of people are pointing out, like, Marvel wouldn't do this. It's pretty twisted. It's pretty crazy. But there were the reports, man. You know what I mean? And it does kind of fit with some of the other things I've heard. So, sounds too good to be true. It absolutely does sound too good to be true. Did I do that thing again, chat? Did I do it again? Did I take the idea and then take it to its absolute extreme and do something so fucking badass and cool Marvel would never do it? Did I do it again? Did I do it again? Another one. Another one. You know what I mean? George Lucas would do it. That's true, actually, I think. I think George would go for it in a pretty extreme way. Hell yeah. I think this shit's wild, dude. We're getting our hopes up again. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help it. You done it again. Bold move, Jay. Yeah. I got to say, I wouldn't mind it if they did it. Supplying new rock stars their content for days. It's all good, man. You guys know me. I don't take offense to it. You know, we're doing pretty good over here. I'm just doing my thing. Very Vader coded. Yeah. Yeah. It's an awesome theory, but look how soft they made Gore. Damn it! Why are you gonna bring that shit up? The new leak is the best leak I've seen so far for the MCU X-Men. Really? Wow, so it's actually pretty good, huh? Guys, I'm just a little drained. I'll tell you what. I'll do a video on the X-Men leaks. I'll fire it up on the channel tomorrow for you guys, okay? I'll do a main channel video on the X-Men leaks, and I'll fire it up on the channel for you tomorrow. But I'd like to get out of here this afternoon. I'm just drained. I want to get some food. I want to chill. What if Strange sacrificed World to get past FMIT? What the fuck is FMIT? Initiate the gambling. Bro, I'm drained, but still got like 5 hours to go. Oof, that's tough, brother. Hop on Rivals? Yeah, that'll definitely make me feel better. Fixed moments in time. Okay, so let me go back to your question then. What if Strange sacrificed the world to get past a fixed moment in time? I mean, yeah, you're kind of talking a little bit about season 3, right? Because the ending of that, is that what you're referring to there? I mean, that's fair. That could be real. Arc Raiders time, baby. You know it. Season 1. Well, I know that you're talking about episode 5, season 1 then. Maybe I'll go back and watch it. You know, maybe we'll go back and watch it. I think he did more than just sacrifice his son. I think he destroyed his own universe to start the incursions after finding out about He Who Remains. That could be the case, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Yeah. Oh, I'll definitely do a video on this theory as well, but I need to cook a little bit more on it. But yeah, I'll put something together. But I'll do the X-Men one tomorrow. Like, dude, who would have thought? I mean, dude, it's so weird. I feel I'm a little scatterbrained, but you know, covering Marvel's been weird, but they are actually cooking. Like, what the future actually looks bright. Like, they have some really cool stuff coming up. It's just a shame we've had to go through the years, the last couple of years that we've had to go through it. I think this year was, you know, particularly frustrating in some ways. But at the end of the day, dude, like, this is kind of cool. Like, they're cooking some cool stuff. That X-Men thing seems cool. So we might be all right over here, you know? We might be all right. Can you go over Miss Super Chat? Yeah. I'll fire off. Guys, you know, I look. To me, the Super Chat thing is like, I appreciate it. But I don't want to make that like how I make money, frankly. You know what I mean? That's a part of the disagreement on Nerd Theory, frankly, was like, I don't like that as a, like, I don't want that to be the way we make money. Number one, I don't want to rely on you guys for that because I think it's like fucked up. But number two, like, I just don't think it's a good model. Like a $2 Super Chat that like keeps you on a stream for hours and hours again. Like, that's part of why, like, you know, not to dig up the password, but that's kind of part of why Theory and I just couldn't work it out, right? So I'll go back through here, and it's not to say that I don't appreciate it, but like, just know that that's, I kind of just think of it as like a nice thing and like, thank you, but I want to be making money in other ways that doesn't rely on that. Do you know what I mean? But I'll rapid fire through some of this stuff just because I'm sure you guys brought up some cool stuff. So let's see here. Zack Attack says, that looks like Colossus next to Scott. Yeah, we would. Yes. What if Doom lost his family with Absolute, like Strange in the What If universe? Yeah, I think we're all kind of saying that. Like, that could absolutely be what it is. CO says, this is going to be such a monumental story. It should be. Do you think they're going to tell it in 3 movies with respect? Hey, appreciate you, brother. No, I don't think so. Although Jeff Snyder said something last night that was really interesting. He said that script for Doc Strange 3 might be coming in soon. And he also said if it's good, they're going to go fast. And so, believe it or not, I think Doc Strange 3 could still be a piece of this, which would be fascinating. Oh my God, I would like it so much. But I don't know that that's actually be the case. But I appreciate that 5, brother. I really do. How much do you think we'll see RD's fat? Went over that. Doomsday Secret Wars could be a new MCU peak, says Zach. Perhaps not the emotional payoff, but they finally have all their toys. Turning it back to Endgame gives thematic weight. Yes, I agree with you, Zach. I agree with you. I think that's going to be the move, man. I think that's a good move. Is there a version of the trailer that isn't color corrected and has weak ass plot points that you'll potentially hate too? There is a version of this trailer that isn't color. Yes, Trev. Kyber says, "Are you telling me Doom is going to be like, hey, where's my son?" Yeah, maybe, brother, maybe. Nice Christmas setup. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Just want to say, don't ever back down to what you think your time is worth. Oh, I appreciate it, Zach. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, look, in this kind of a situation, and like, I'm just not addressed. I'm trying not to address it because like I just don't care. I'm just going to move on. But look, I don't blame anybody for this. First of all, let me just say this: y'all could never make me hate Dash. I love Dash. I think he's a beautiful human being. I don't really know the other homie. You know what I mean? And I love Theory. I think everybody's just doing what they're supposed to, you know, and people are playing sides. People are getting upset, this, that, second, and the third. All good. You know what I mean? Literally all good. There's going to be people that really don't like the way I'm handling it and they're turned off by it. There's going to be people that don't like the way he's handling it. They're turned off by it. I think for both our sakes, it's probably good to just put it all in the rearview mirror and just focus on our content. The other thing I will say too, and I didn't even necessarily want to say this, but I'll say it here. I've thought long and hard about like my own personal brand and how I want to do content. And like this might sound crazy, but I'm actually not a super nice guy. Okay. I don't think I'm a cruel person, but I'm actually not a nice guy. And so I don't think it's wise to connect my brand to being a nice guy when it's actually not true. Now, what I can tell you though, and what I can promise you as far as like on the other side of that, because like I'm not trying to be cruel, I'm not going to dig shit up, I'm not gonna, I'm not playing those games. But what I will say is this: if you enjoyed those 3 episodes of Nerd Theory, if you laughed, if you thought I entertained, if you thought I brought it, if you had fun, I'm going to keep doing that just over here. And my plan is to be so good at what I do, so entertaining and so fun, that a lot of people are going to watch, regardless of if they think I'm a nice guy, regardless of whether they think I have good takes. I want to be so good. There's this thing that Sinatra used to say, where he would say, you want to be undeniable, so good they can't ignore you. And again, maybe that's some ego shit and like, you take it how you take it. But that's like what I'm on. Like, that's actually how I feel about it, is like, I'm here to cook and entertain and, do my thing. So that's it. That's it. And I don't have anything bad to say about that guy. You know what I mean? I don't have anything bad to say about that guy. Take off the suit. What are you? Fair. Doc Strange 3 could still make a mid-2027 date. Likely will come out post-Secret Wars. It could if they went crazy fast, which they could do. You know what I mean? They could absolutely do. I would appreciate it, but I'll tell you this too. Like, there's a part of me that's like, maybe let's not fuck around. Maybe let's just make sure we got 2 bangers with Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like, maybe that's legitimately more important. Yeah. I really like the thought of Tony learning that he's a Victor Von Doom and then going back to Endgame and choosing to make the sacrifice as Iron Man. I like it as well. Yes. Yeah. I think that's all the chats, right? Maybe I missed some in the present now because I was going back, Dar Boyd says, I just can't shake the feeling that the MCU is rushing to a crescendo without the adequate buildup. I think that's a valid concern, brother. You know what I mean? All I can tell you is I've been reading the train. I've been following along with what they're doing. And from where I'm at, I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty good. Like, they could be cooking here, Man, just be yourself. I think you're funny and entertaining. I enjoy the rants. Be mean with it. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It's like, basically all I'm trying to say is like, I'm not going to pretend I'm this super nice guy. Like, I'm not. I'm an asshole. Like, I'm kind of a fucking asshole. And I've also been kind of hardened by like the whole internet thing. So like, I can get crazy flagrant and stuff like that. But here's the difference. Okay, here's the difference. And again, I probably shouldn't even say this, but I'll just say it. Okay, the difference is I didn't do a clip of the situation. I haven't made a video about the situation. I'm not projecting. I'm not monetizing the situation. And look, everybody else is free to do. God bless them. If they want to monetize the situation, God bless them. But that's not what I do. Now, part of the reason I don't do that is because it actually doesn't look good on me, because I actually get really fucking vicious and petty. And it's actually a turnoff. Like it kills the vibe. It's not what I'm here to do. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll get actually really shitty, and it stinks. You guys don't even like it. You know what I mean? Like, I've had enough feedback from chat over the years to realize that people aren't here for me to get actually upset. They love it when I'm like sort of fake upset, or I'm crashing out or something like that. But like, if I actually got upset, that's not good content. Like, that's not what I'm here to do. Right? But yeah, it's all love. It really is. Philip, appreciate you, brother. Yeah. And it is all good. We're just gonna do our thing, baby. We got a long road to Doomsday. We got a long road to Secret Wars. I gotta get Unity popping. Oh my God. We got a lot to do. James Gunn cosplay is peak stream moment in my head. That was a pretty good one. It was a pretty good one, yeah. I'm still getting you and Theory's face tattooed on my back like a Star Wars movie poster. Well, your body, your choice, you know. Nah, some people in chat love the drama. Oh, of course. Of course. That's to be expected. A lot of this is like pretty normal. You know, there's pretty much going about the way I thought it would go, frankly. So, yeah. The Coke moment was my favorite. Yeah, that was a pretty good one too. Yeah. Trust me, we've got some more. We've got some more classics in the tank. I've been cooking. Prez, there's some truth in what you're saying there. Yeah. TRT might enhance those effects, Josh. I don't know what effects you're talking about, but absolutely. I mean, I'm a big fan of testosterone. You know what I mean? I'll just say it. It's pretty cool. Did you see the article that Tom Ellis auditioned for Reed Richards? Yes, I did see that. He would have been good, yeah. Weren't they all Daredevil or something? I still can't believe that. And you know what else is funny? So the Geeky Cast. You guys know the Geeky Cast? I'll tell you this story because it's kind of funny. So Geeky Cast, you know, we talk a lot. I follow him and everything. I'm pretty sure I follow him. So anyway, I'm riding around buying hundreds of dollars of these Coke cans. And the Geeky Cast hits me up on Twitter and says, hey, just so you know, I used to work at distribution for Coke. Those are all going to be the same cans. Okay, but here's the thing. He literally changed his profile picture that day. And I got the DM, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Because I'm like, I was like with my wife, and we're like going around getting the Coke. It was actually really fun until I realized they were all not actually, they were all Daredevil or whatever, right? So, dude, he literally changed his fucking, if he hadn't changed his profile picture, I wouldn't have spent all that money. Holy, dude. Really, really let me down on that one. Really let me down on that shit. Holy. Yeah, there was a Kill Bill announcement, man. It's pretty cool. You hating on women being a lead in Predator is weird as fuck. Who was hating on, like, what? Who are you people? Who are you people? What are you talking about? Did I hate on, I think I said I'm really excited for the movie. Man. I try, chat. You know what I mean? I try. I'm trying to be chill. All right, everybody. Well, hey, appreciate you guys. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. We're going to keep doing a fucking thing over here. I'm cooking, man. That video this morning, go watch that video on the main channel. I cooked on that video, bro. That is a good-ass video. And then, yeah, I'll do the X-Men one tomorrow. We'll be streaming again next week. Lots of good shit, man. Lots of good shit. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the love, man. I hope you guys have a good-ass weekend. I'll see you soon, okay? And as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? I am starting to get into the holiday spirit. I am feeling the vibe. And Christmas come early for us, December 18th. Holy shit. Are we going to break records on that stream? I feel like that's a record-breaking stream. Hopefully. All right, everybody. I appreciate you all. Get out there and have a good weekend, man. Do me a favor, though. Actually, make it 2. I'm going to need you to open up that third and wash out that stinky butt.